Day. Y'all, today we are going to take this paper mache tissue box and give it a little makeover. We have these available on our website. They're $5.49. And they're made out of paper mache, so you can decorate them however you want to. So we're going to do a bit of a makeover on this today using this pattern that I have printed on mulberry paper. And look how pretty that is. So this pattern is available. It's part of our Celebrate and Create Paper Club. So these are the designs that they received this month. And so we're going to be using this to make over this little paper mache tissue box. And I think it's going to turn out really beautiful. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. So again, these are $5.49. So you can get these and then you can use it for your tissues all around the house and make your tissue box look better and match your decor. They're very inexpensive. So you could even purchase multiples and do multiple different ones for different rooms or for different holidays or seasons. As you swap out your decor, you'll always have one that matches. So when you hop on, say hello. Let me know you're watching. Hope everyone's having a great day. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hi, Dale. Hello, Jamie. Hi, Lisa. Good afternoon. Hey, Carol. Hi, Linda. Hey, Jackie. Hello, Dorothy. All is well. Hi, Pam. Hey, Lynn. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. I had a good weekend. Hey, Marcia. Let's see here. I had a chill weekend. We actually went and did a few things on Friday night. Went to a car show. That was like a benefit thing in our town. And then went out to dinner with some friends. And Saturday, I mostly stayed home all day. I did have to run up to Hobby Lobby real quick. But other than that, I was at home all day. And then Sunday went to church and then went over to Mom and Dad's and spent the day over there. So it was a good weekend. Pretty chill. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Cindy. Hey, Tina. Hi, Donna. Hello, Sharon. Hi, Patty. Hey, Melissa. Hi, Nancy and April. I'm glad y'all are all here. All right. So I printed out my design onto mulberry paper. I just sometimes think the mulberry paper looks nicer. It looks a little bit more professional. I don't know, something about it I just think looks sometimes a lot better than paper. I think it's also easier to decoupage with. So I printed my designs on mulberry paper. We do have mulberry paper available at celebrationcompany.com as well. These designs are from this month's Celebrate and Create Paper Club. So it's just a simple, repeatable design. So I chose something that I knew I could match up because no matter which way I played it, I was going to have to match it up. And so I wanted to make sure it was a design that I could do that with. And printed it on my mulberry paper, and I always print on my mulberry paper on the smooth side, not the rough side. There is a bit of like a rough side and you'll be able to feel the difference. One side has more texture where the other side feels a little more smooth. So I print my design on the smooth side every single time. And I think that just gives you a more smooth look in the end. So if you're not wanting that and you want something that looks a little bit rough, then print it on the rough side. But I like to have a little bit of a more smooth finish. So we're going to paint this with a little bit of light buttermilk. I want to give this a base coat because if I don't, because this mulberry paper is transparent, once I decoupage this on, it's definitely going to darken it and it's going to give us a different color. And I don't want that. I do want to keep that sort of creamy color. So we are going to give this a base coat of light buttermilk. And we'll probably do 2 coats of it because you do not want to see the brush marks through the paper. And there's a definite possibility that you will if you don't get it dark enough or don't get enough coverage on there. So we'll do a little bit and then we'll dry it and do some more. The good thing is this is very easy to paint. I'm just using regular Deco Art acrylic paint. We're ready for football season. I know my husband is very ready for football season, both for Griffin and for professional. Well, really, and college. He's looking forward to going to some Kentucky games this year. Plus, I don't know, Kentucky, there's talk about how Kentucky should be pretty decent this year in comparison to what we have been in the past. So, anyways, looking forward to the football season for sure. All right, so I got all the edges painted. Let's dry it and then we'll get the top and do a second coat on those edges. Go. Let's get the top and then we're just going to do a second coat. And I haven't decided yet about the top, if I'm going to just leave it the painted color or if I'm going to decoupage the top as well. Oh, cool, Dale. That sounds like fun. All right, second coat going on. Hey, Ethel. Okay. Here we go. 3 sides down. Last side, and then we'll do the top one more time. Quick and easy as far as the painting goes. All right, let's dry these sides. Hi, Teresa. And of course, if you're doing a regular craft or regular paper and not mulberry paper, then you would not necessarily need to paint this. Sorry, I was reading a comment and for some reason I read spray. I don't know. And if you are doing a darker color, then you may not necessarily need to paint underneath it either. So it just depends on what you're putting on it, what you're decoupaging it with. just get another coat on the top. And honestly, I mean, there's so many things that you could do with these. If you like to paint, you could paint some really beautiful things onto these tissue box covers, right? You could paint so many beautiful things. Oh, really, Rosemary? I have never watched baseball, so I couldn't tell you the first thing about Major League Baseball. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a third coat on the top, just in case I decide not to decoupage on the top. I don't think it's quite covered enough for it to stand alone and not have any other paint on top of it. So we're just going to go ahead, add a third coat so that it's completely covered. Okay, there we go. And you could always sand and distress this as well. You know, call it a day there. Okay, but here is our tissue box painted. Pretty simple. Now let's move on to our decoupage. Let me grab my glue and let me clean up this mess right here. Yes, Patty, I will. I missed your question. So I will scroll back and find it. Do you have to pay the whole amount up front, or can you pay it on installments? You can pay it on installments, Patty, if you use Klarna. So if you go, when you go to checkout, there is a option to pay with Klarna. And so you will have to go through the steps of filling all that out. And then it is like, I think it's per month for so long or something like that. Or it might be every month for 4 months. I can't remember exactly how it works. But yes, you can absolutely do it that way. Hi, Debbie. Yes, Bridget, it'll fit over top of the square size tissue box. Okay, so we're gonna do this paper on the sides. And what I'm gonna do, I've just gotta decide here. Let me measure. Okay, so it's not going to be quite big enough. So I think we're going to have to go this way. I do know that it's about 5.5 inches. So I'm going to cut it 5.5 inches wide. Okay, and then I'm just going to remove the white. Okay, and so we're going to start with that, and then we'll glue this piece on, and then we'll move on and do a second piece. It looks like we're going to need 2 pieces. I'm going to wait to cut this though to see about matching. It shouldn't be an issue, but I'm going to wait. Okay, so somebody responded and said it's a every 2-week payment is how that works. And I don't know how the payments split. Okay, let me grab a paintbrush. And let's actually, I'm going to do a pouncer, not a paintbrush. Counselor's a better idea. All right. So we'll start here with one side. And get a nice thin layer of decoupage glue, and I'm just going to line this up right with the edge. Actually, I think I am going to overlap it slightly. Yes, Patty, it is handicap accessible. All right, perfect. So we got a little bit to overlap on both sides. All right, so the payment is split 4 ways. So if you just do the event and not the VIP, it would be approximately $150 every 2 weeks. This does not include tax. If we have to charge tax for your state. All right, so we'll apply a nice thin layer of decoupage glue on the next section. This is the reason why I say that I think the mulberry paper is just easier to decoupage because it just adheres a lot better. And that I think the texture that's on it just really helps with helping it to adhere really well. So now these bits that are folded over or hanging over, we're just going to glue those down. And this way we definitely don't have any raw edge exposed. We can match it up on a flat surface. Regina, I can't wait to meet you either. I'm glad to hear you're coming. Okay, so let's take our next piece and we just want to take a look at this and make sure, okay, it is going to match up perfectly right here. So I'm going to trim off this edge right here. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this at 5 1/2. Oh, sorry, this way. Hang on. I'm thinking maybe should I cut it? Okay. I think that I'm sorry, y'all can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to decide. All right, so it's not going to match up on this side. I'm going to cut it actually down, and I'm going to cut on this flower right here. There's not quite enough on this side. So I think I'm going to, in order to make it match a little bit better, trim this down. Okay, right on that flower. Right on that middle of that flower so that this matches up a little bit better. Right there. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on like this. So again, we'll do a little bit of decoupage glue. Let's match this up. Okay. And then we'll wrap this around, and then we're just going to have to trim this. It's not going to match up here though. So I'm just going to use some scissors to trim. Okay, and we're just going to overlap that slightly right there. Hi, Laura. Okay. And then fold this over. There we go. All right. That's how it's looking. Looking great already. Let's go ahead and remove the excess. And I'm just going to use my sander to just sand right up against the edge. Hi, Adriana. All right, and then we're going to do the top as well. Just give this a little sand across the top. All right. Okay, so you could stop right there. I'm not going to. We're going to keep on going. What we can do is we could come in and we could touch up, but I don't want to touch up that white. I think what I'm going to do is go in and distress it even further. So I'm going to take my sander and just start kind of sanding this even more around this top edge. For sure. Around the hole here. Okay, so we get that look right there. All right, and I'm gonna do the rest of it as well, and I want to kind of expose some of that paper mache underneath, just a little bit. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like. Okay. So now what we're going to do is give this a coat of decoupage glue to seal it, and we're going to not do it perfectly. Okay, so we're going to do a kind of a quick coat. Oh, yay, Rhonda. Regina, this is mulberry paper. It is available at celebrationcompany.com. This is a design from our Celebrate and Create Paper Club that I printed on mulberry paper. Hi, Jeannie. Okay. All right. So we're just going to take our decoupage glue, get some on our pouncer, and we're just going to do this quick kind of like this. So that we hopefully miss some spots. Okay, and also just want to make sure that where we sanded, we've sort of sealed that down. And that there's none sticking up. Okay, there we go. All right, so now what we're gonna do is go in with a wash, and we're not gonna do raw umber this time. We're actually gonna go with fawn, I think, for a wash. This is already super cute. You can literally stop right here. How cute is that? Super cute already. So much better than a Kleenex box. Okay, let's grab our paint. Like I said, I'm going to use fawn for a wash instead of raw umber this time. Yeah, if you are thinking about signing up for Celebration in the Bluegrass, make sure you do it this month because you're going to save some money if you go on and sign up this month. All right, let me grab a paint brush. Oh, fun, Teresa. All right, so we're just going to take our fawn, put some on, do a quick brush over like this, and then we're going to take a paint or a baby wipe, and we're just going to start removing. I'm going to go in with the edges first, and anywhere that we missed with the decoupage glue, that paper is going to soak up the fawn and give it this really pretty look that I love. So this is what we were going for when we added the decoupage glue. This right here. Okay, that's what we want. That's what I want, at least. Okay, so then we're going to do it again on this side. Start removing. Make sure you remove get the edges, and you can, wipe away as much or as little as you want. I really don't want that paper to be tinted much, so I am wiping away a lot of it. We're just going for the spots that we forgot, or that we missed, rather, to be, see, like that. Go. This is looking so pretty. All right, last side. Oh, fun, Teresa. I just love a barbecue. I love barbecue food as well. We actually kind of had a barbecue at Mom and Dad's yesterday. Dad grilled hot dogs, and I brought potato salad, and Amanda brought mac and cheese, and Mom and Dad made coleslaw, and we had a little barbecue. Okay. So this is what we've got. Look how pretty that looks. Isn't that beautiful? It's funny how the color of the blue changed a little bit. It almost went a little teal. That sort of bums me out a little bit. But, oh well. All right, let me dry this and let's see what we've got. See if we want to do anything else. So the other thing that you can do is triple thick. You could do triple thick on here to give this a ceramic look. I'm not going to do triple thick because I don't think that I would be happy with it. But that would be another fun thing that you could do. You're welcome, Teresa. All right. So here is how it looks. What do y'all think about it? Now you could always add like, you know, like some kind of image or something on there if you wanted to. I know, Cindy. Cindy, I'm gonna have to give it to Cindy because it definitely went a little bit more teal. This is the original blue, I think, from a combination of the buttermilk and the fawn just made it look teal. But it still is really cute and really pretty. And I don't really think that there's anything else that I would do with it. Unfortunately, I don't have any tissues this size so that I can show you what it would look like on a tissue box. I only have the rectangle tissues, so I'm going to have to buy some. But I think that turned out so cute. So some of y'all, I don't know if you like, you know, that look or not. I like it. I think it gives it this sort of vintage look. And so I really love that look of some of the spots not taking the decoupage glue and then them just absorbing the fawn. I just love the way that looks. Oh, awesome, Jeremy. All right, so these are $5.49. So you can make all sorts of different ones to go with your decor to change out throughout the year for fall, winter, Christmas, spring, summer, all the things, all the different ways that you decorate. You can swap out so that you can hide those ugly tissue boxes and look at something pretty that's going to go with your home. That's going to kind of coordinate with your decor. So I think this turned out really cute. Super cute. All right. You would like to see one using triple thick? I'll be honest, I am a little worried that the triple thick that it won't look like ceramic on the paper mache. That's my worry. I think the paper mache lends itself so well to wood. I'm just not sure if it's going to lend itself to ceramic or not. So I don't know yet, but I do think that it's really pretty like this. So anyways, y'all, if you're interested in this paper, you can join the Celebrate and Create Paper Club. You can comment craft paper for the link to that if you're interested. You can still get this design as well as all the other designs from this month throughout the rest of August. Okay, at the end of August, those designs go away. And if you're interested in Celebration of the Bluegrass, comment CIB and we can send you a link, or you can go to thecelebrationcompany.com. Remember that the early bird deal is going on right now. So if you do not subscribe or do not join by the end of August, then you will not get that discount. The price is going to go up September the 1st. So I think that's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon. I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow or not. We're doing DIY decor boxes tomorrow, but I will see you on Wednesday.